Welcome to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. Well, the Haryana and Hello and welcome to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. Well, the Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir elections are well underway. We've seen the campaigning, we've seen the rhetoric. In fact, they're nearing an end now. But the campaign rhetoric is something I want to talk about. Is this going to be seen as a Modi versus Rahul affair? With the BJP or the pollsters predicting that the BJP may not get a good outcome, there's already talk of this being a Naib Singh Saini versus a Huda, or the local leadership will be taking the fall. But on the rhetoric ground, on the campaign ground, the rhetoric is all aimed versus against Rahul Gandhi, and from the other side, Rahul Gandhi is also targeting Modi and the central government. In Srinagar, he goes and he talks about Adani Ambani, his favorite pet theme. Here also they raise the issue of Rahul's citizenship, what he said in the US, and so on. So is Rahul Gandhi becoming a huge poll issue for the opposition? And how is for the BJP, and how is the BJP handling this? That is something we're going to be discussing today. Joining me on the show is I have with me Rasheed Kidwai. He's an author and a political analyst and a keen observer what is happening in the Congress party especially. I have Dilip Cherian. He's a brand guru. He's a political analyst and a columnist. Ashutosh, he's a founder editor of satyahindi.com and a senior journalist. Ashutosh, you've been doing a lot of debates also, I've been saying, on this issue. So how are you seeing the poll rhetoric, and why is Rahul Gandhi such a big issue? And is Rahul right in making this an issue more about central? Because Omar Abdullah recently also said, was not very happy with his campaign rhetoric.
Thank you, Priya. See, Rahul Gandhi, for some reason, the BJP wants him to become a big leader of the country. And as if they are trying to groom him as a next prime minister. Something like this, because a small statement here and there and everything, BJP goes out of his way to make it big. And unnecessarily, the party is keeping him in the news and making him a part of the headline. This is what exactly happened with the Narendra Modi when the Congress party was obsessed when he was the chief minister, and then look where Mr. Modi is today. I'm not saying that the Rahul Gandhi is going to be the next prime minister or is going to be the big leader of the country. The fact of the matter is that after the parliamentary elections, whether it is Rahul Gandhi or the Modi, this has become a battle between the two, because Rahul has partly won 2024 the parliamentary election, and Modi has partly lost that election. And this election will prove to be a kind of whether the Modi's loss in parliament was just a fluke or Rahul's win was just another fluke. So the momentum which Rahul Gandhi has got, the Congress party has got, will get a stamp if Rahul and the Congress party wins Haryana elections with big margin. And if somehow the Congress could get something around 60 seats, that it will get an approval that the Congress party is in the right direction. There is no confusion. There is an ideological clarity. There is a clarity on issues, and also the clarity on the Rahul Gandhi's leadership. But if the BJP loses, and if loses badly, then this will further demoralize Mr. Narendra Modi, and he looks a demoralized soul today. He's attacked by RSS, he's attacked everywhere. And when you start losing your mojo, the fact is you automatically get into the depression and you start searching yourself, you start confusing yourself. That's what exactly happening with Mr. Narendra Modi. And since parliamentary election, he has failed to come out with a new narrative. The old narrative is not working, certainly not working for the BJP, and he has to look for something new.
Dilip, do you think Narendra Modi is losing his mojo? How are you seeing, just if you restrict it to the campaign that the BJP is running in these two states?
I tend to agree completely with Ashutosh on the current scenario of both leaders. The only place where I may want to just look at it from a different angle is that I don't think Rahul Gandhi is dependent on the BJP working to make him prime minister. I think he's making some steady progress in that direction. And the rhetoric in the state elections, he has very clearly kept to the issues at the center rather than at the state. And the Congress party's reason is that, it is very clear that as far as Haryana goes, Saini is not a factor. Every moment the poor chap tries to do something, he gets pilloried and, he gets blamed for things which he cannot be blamed on. And the Huda factor looms large, strong, and consistent. As far as Kashmir is concerned, I think the Congress party recognizes that it's partnership that will work, and therefore they are minding their P's and Q's, and I think that's a good thing, because in the state that Kashmir is in, I think it is more important to be seen for the rhetoric to work in Jammu rather than in Kashmir. So I think that the Congress party needs to make sure that it plays its cards right with the next bunch of seats that are going in Kashmir, and I think that is where it'll play a deciding factor. And I think that's what we should be looking for in the flow of rhetoric as these two states go to election.
The rhetoric also, and apart from that, the campaign, Rasheed, because we heard Omar saying, why is Rahul just staying in Kashmir when he should be campaigning in Jammu, where the fight is against the BJP and the Congress has a larger number of seats. In Haryana also, one of the allies, Samajwadi Party, is not very happy that they haven't made an alliance, and a lot of Samajwadi Party leaders are actually campaigning on the individual strength, but obviously with the okay of Akhilesh Yadav in Haryana against Congress candidates. So, is Rahul and the Congress, have they just taken, when they see a win, the Congress becomes so, they lose focus on everything else, I think.
Yeah, Priya, you can accuse Congress of being in this kind of thing, but look at the reality. Reality is that, winner takes it all. So there is no silver medal in politics. If Congress indeed, wins Haryana in a big way, as Ashutosh is saying, then, Rahul Gandhi, Bhupender Hooda, Dipender Hooda, they all will be, winners. Otherwise, they will all have a, Kamal Nath fate also, or for that matter, Bhupesh Baghel fate, that were both in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh in the state assembly elections were expected to do well, and they made a hash of things. As far as I think the campaign style is concerned, both are, have a sort of, I would say, illusion of grandeur. They talk about, big things. Mr. Modi, of course, has a habit. We have seen it in 11 years. Rahul Gandhi is also doing it. He is not talking about issues of, bread and butter, in the sense of what is relevant to Haryana and what is perhaps relevant to Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir, there is a peculiar problem. What you say in Jammu is not, acceptable, in the valley, and what you say in valley is not relevant in Kashmir. So you need to do, a lot of fine balancing act. Mr. Rahul Gandhi is not a very, when he speaks in a lot of, clarity. So this Adani Ambani business and all, it's not making a real, qualitative changes. Therefore, Priya, if you look at the number of meetings Rahul Gandhi is holding in either in Haryana or in Jammu and Kashmir, is very little, given the kind of place that is there. So both are, you see, the good part about Indian politics, or bad part, but which way you look at it, nothing gets settled. I think politics of, of our country, or the narrative that you're talking about, is evolving, and electoral outcome will have a huge impact. So if Congress wins Haryana, it's whether it's going to be 1-1, 2-0, 0-2, all these things will have, and then we'll have Maharashtra and of course Jharkhand. So therefore, I think there is a test after test, and Mr. Modi's personal popularity remains intact, though it's not making any impact in Haryana. And Rahul Gandhi is growing, and but you very rightly pointed out, the thing is, Rahul is not acting as a India Alliance team leader. He's too much of, he's doing his own. This is Rahul's agenda. Just because he's successful, so nobody's objecting. So these are the challenges that both political formations are facing.
Ashutosh, a little bit on the Congress campaign, what Rasheed has said, and the point that I also made about the allies. Do you think, and the Congress internal problems also, जब भी जीत देखते हैं, तो they're kind of, I think, losing the narrative. You have to unmute yourself.
See, Priya, I think sometimes we don't see the most obvious thing. I think Rahul Gandhi is evolving a new model of leadership. And that new model of leadership is still a work in progress. And why I'm saying so, because if you compare with Narendra Modi, everything is centralized. Everything is that what I said has to be followed, and the party president and others are just a rubber stamp. Whether Rahul Gandhi has realized, and this model he's evolving from the position of weakness, not from the position of strength. He knows that he doesn't command the kind of aura and the charisma which Mr. Modi has, which can win elections. So what he has done is he's building a meta narrative at the national level. He's making issues. He's creating a kind of an ideological paradigm for the BJP, and he's constantly challenging Narendra Modi and RSS and the Hindutva. That's the one model of it. That's one element of it. The other element of it, that he's giving a kind of a freedom to the local kshatrabs, that you take command of the state, you contest elections, and if there is any problem, we'll pitch in. Like Shalja issue. It's not that the Shalja issue is a new thing. Like you go to the Karnataka, you'll find DK Sukumar fighting with the with Siddharamaiah. You go to Himachal Pradesh, there's a Vikramaditya fighting with the chief minister Sukhu there. So the factionalism is an integral part of the politics, an integral part of the democracy. But how you resolve contradictions, how you resolve disagreements, that's where the democracy comes in. So I think he has realized that he is not as charismatic as his mother, as his grandmother was, like Indira Gandhi, who could win elections. So he's evolving a big narrative and then giving lot of freedom to the regional kshatrabs. And within the India bloc, see, no political party would like to give 10 seats to the Aam Aadmi Party, the 11 seats to the Samajwadi Party, just because they're part of the alliance. They also have to be benevolent. It's not that it's one way. So I don't blame Rahul Gandhi for that, and I don't blame Congress Party. The Congress Party is on a strong wicket in Haryana. But look at in Jammu and Kashmir, they have bargained only for 32 seats. They would have asked, I also need 45 seats or 60 seats because I'm a bigger player at the national level. No. So there is a lot of pragmatism in Rahul Gandhi's politics. Sometimes we fail to see, because Rahul Gandhi has been pilloried so much in the past that nobody wants to give him any credit for anything. Fortunately or unfortunately, he has emerged as a big leader today, and he is setting the agenda. Modi, RSS and the BJP is following that agenda, and that is where their failing lies. And if the BJP loses badly in Haryana and followed by Maharashtra, there will be serious problem with Narendra Modi, and there will be serious question mark about his leadership.
So Dilip, I like one point I want to take up, Ashutosh, is Rahul Gandhi then a hostage to his past? That's something a brand guru like you would have dealt with. How does he let go of his past and get people to believe in his new image?
I think, Priya, the advantage Rahul has at the moment is that he has done a substantial part of brand building for himself, and he is now doing the fine-tuning bit post 2024 elections. He is not an easy brandable product, easily brandable product. He has a kind of resistance to being branded in any one way, but he has certain fundamental issues. Ashutosh referred to one, which is that he recognizes that in an operational democracy, if you want to be in antithesis to what the RSS BJP is, then you have to show visible signs of democracy. Now, when Rasheed referred to the visible signs of lack of democratic thinking as an India bloc, he was also probably taking into account that he would have a problem appeasing Hooda if he were to give up more seats to Aam Aadmi Party. So I think, there are national level issues, there are intra-party issues, and there are inter-party issues. And I think Rahul, you will see, will give way on some other issue with Akhilesh to make up for this. I don't think that Akhilesh and others are as taan ka kacha as to be affected by one thing like Haryana elections. I don't think it's that important to them. They may want to allow a few of their people a little truth, which is part of their inner party democracy. And that's it.
Well, we have the 10 bypos whenever they come up. That's when we'll see how accommodating and understanding Akhilesh is. But Rasheed, one more point on what Ashutosh and Dilip referred to, the intra-party, inner party, workings. How is this Rahul and Kharge balance working out? Because we've seen Shelja being appeased by Kharge, and then there was a meeting with Rahul and Hooda and Shelja. So how do you see that equation working out?
Yes, I think Priya, it's a very interesting question, and I think that is where a lot of credit is due to Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, because here is a man who's like sort of overshadowed because of the political stature of Rahul Gandhi. that he is doing a a very good job of a peacemaker, a full-time Congress president. So he's taken Rahul's mind and sort of number of man hours off from all these things. You look at that, you look at the selection of the new youth Congress president that you also wrote about. The fact of the matter is the entire exercise was done by Rahul Gandhi. Now, it is supposed to be a Congress president's prerogative to appoint a youth Congress president. But Mr. Kharge was not in picture. Mr. Kharge has become a very kind of seasoned backroom person who brought in and who summoned, both Shalja, gave her a dressing down that this is not the way to, sort of sulk. He also called up Buddha and saying that, don't be so confident of victory. I have seen all these highs and lows, and don't just count on Jat voters. There are Dalits who matter, and you have to take everyone along. And people listen to Kharge. He called up, Vikramaditya Singh, that Himachal fellow, and said that don't get this order of getting these eateries, people's name and all. It had a lot of communal flavor. We criticize Yogi Adityanath. It was very clear. So the Congress requires, I think, a person like Ashutosh is better, equipped to dwell upon it. The Congress also requires a lot of, sort of sensitivity towards all these issues. The Congress also has very powerful right-wing constituency, and that needs to change as per the kind of changing times. We have seen it in Himachal. A lot of it is happening. The kind of protest against this legal and illegal mosques, etc. The kind of pronouncement some of the ministers made. So and of course the communal disturbances that are taking place in Telangana and elsewhere. So I know ideological issue what Rahul Gandhi is talking about. He is not able to carry everyone along. So there are a lot of problems. I mean, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, Priya, I must point out, continues to hold two posts. He is a leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha. So what was the problem with Ashok Gehlot? What was Ashok Gehlot saying? Let me continue as Rajasthan Chief Minister and I'll be Congress President. We all laughed and mocked him. But it's the same. So one man, one post is not happening. The issue of Congress, organizational secretaries hanging fire. Mr. K.C. Venugopal has become a PSC, chairman, which is a full-time job in many ways. But he is also doing a lot of organizational work. So the Congress is not what it should have been a year after. First time I said about India Alliance, now I'm saying the Congress also requires a lot of repair work.
Okay, I'm going to take a quick break and come back and keep the conversation going. So stay with us. Hello and welcome back to the roundtable. We are here discussing the assembly elections, but we also Hello and welcome back to the roundtable. We are here discussing the poll narrative of the assembly elections and the impact it has on the politics of both the Congress and the BJP. Ashutosh, once again, back to what you said after the assembly results, you see that Narendra Modi, and especially if they lose Maharashtra also, you think that his prime ministerialship may be in question or in danger. But who will bell the cat? I don't see. The RSS also knows he still is their best bet. They may say whatever they want to, but if Narendra Modi just gets up and walks off, the BJP may break. I don't see him. I see him lasting his full term, really.
Yeah, Priya, to answering your question, let me add a bit of on the Rahul Gandhi. See, okay. Rahul Gandhi, after 2019 elections, he resigned. And he let the diarchy created in the party itself. That one, there is an administrative leadership that is called the party president, and another is a political leadership that is called Rahul Gandhi. And this diarchy, this model is working. Where Kharge needs to enter, he is doing his job, and where Rahul Gandhi needs to enter, he is doing his own job. So Rahul Gandhi is not suited for the administrative. He realized long back, so he has left that space. I think so. What I'm saying is that Rahul Gandhi is developing a model. Unfortunately or fortunately, we don't want to give him any credit for that. We still look at that Rahul Gandhi of the 2014 or 2019. No, he has evolved. Now about Narendra Modi thing. See, Narendra Modi, whatever the Narendra Modi had to give to the BJP, he had given that. Now, beyond that, if people are expecting that he will bring something extra, that is not going to happen. And that's where the difference between Atal Bihari Vajpayee and the Lalkesh Advani and Narendra Modi and Amit Shah, the difference comes in. Atal Bihari Vajpayee and the Lalkesh Advani, they evolved as a leader over a period of time. So their evolution as a leader, as a supreme leader of the party was very natural. And the people had people had seen him growing, and people had a lot of aura, were in awe about him. About Narendra Modi, he has grown, became a supreme leader among equals. So he is finding it very difficult to have the same kind of respect to Atal Bihari Vajpayee Lal Krishna Advani had. Like Vasundhara Raje Scindia will never have that kind of a reverence for Modi as he had for Atal Bihari Vajpayee Lal Krishna Advani. So that is the problem of Narendra Modi. And it is because of this problem that he's facing along with in the RSS also. So if a product has lived its utility, then the product can survive if the product evolves a new something new about him, something unique about him. And in politics, if you're winning, everything is good. If you're failing, then among equals, you find it very difficult to deal with this. So the conflict which is growing today, Narendra Modi is growing old. He's touching 74, and he hasn't let the regional kshatrps to emerge. He has rather finished all of them. Then there is an RSS, and RSS thinks about 25 years ahead. Modi must be thinking about 2029. RSS basically thinks about 2047 or 2059, something like this, because their project is to Hindu unity. Modi's project is to become the prime minister. And it is because of this the conflict is emerging, because RSS thinking, Mr. Modi, you can't take us beyond this point. So the RSS and the BJP have to find a successor. If they can find a successor, good. I'm not saying that the Modi will be removed as a prime minister. I'm not saying that the BJP will divide, because that is not the RSS way of conflict resolution. RSS nudges. The process started in 2004 after the loss by BJP, and finally they could reach to a conclusion by 2010. So that took 6 years. Maybe with Narendra Modi, they take another three years or 4 years. But certainly they have realized that Narendra Modi has lived its utility, and so they have to find a replacement for him.
That part I agree in the part of how the RSS works. But Dilip, Narendra Modi is a man who is capable of rebranding himself. Surely what we've seen, he's seen also. And he's a great distractor also. So what will he do to keep the nation distracted and vested in him, despite the fact that the BJP loses all the coming elections and maybe even Delhi next year?
He, as a prime minister, has more opportunity than any other leader. Being leader of a country as fractious and as constantly newsworthy as India has its advantages. And I think Narendra Modi needs to harness those advantages. What happens, though, is that it is very difficult to argue with success. When you are successful, you don't want to change the formula, because you're constantly believing that the formula that you've used gave you success, so don't change it. So he's actually stuck in that no man's land between the need to reinvent, which Ashutosh spoke about, and the requirement of safety, which is hang on to the formula which has worked. Now, this formula clearly has gone past its sell-by date. And I don't think we need to take any domestic example. If you take the example of what happened with the trip to visit Zelensky and Zelensky's response, you get the whole scenario. Any other time, he would have had success. Any other place, he would have had some progress. But the fact is that any distraction or any attempt at playing on a different minefield, keeping you alive and alert for a longer time, does not seem to be working, because there is no reinvention of the model. If you saw the visit to the US, it was an attempt to repeat and replicate Howdy Modi. The fact is, it just did not work, because Trump was advised by his own people not to meet, and Modi himself did not eventually meet. So I'm saying that the formula is being tried because it has succeeded in the past. Does it succeed now? With less and less. And therefore, the incremental benefits which he needs to wring out of this same formula are not coming through. And on the other side, Rahul Gandhi, and also the leader who used a platform in Bombay to announce twice that he had been offered prime ministership, their voices are getting unnecessarily higher.
That's going to be happening within the India alliance soon. Also, what is happening within the Congress? A lot of prime ministerial thing. But Rashid, your final word on this, the Modi phenomena and what is happening in the India alliance.
Yeah, so I think, Priya, these two formations are very different. The BJP, there is a sense of despondency that is setting it. Ashutosh made a fleeting reference, but you see, who will be the next BJP president? There was a name of Sanjay Joshi, then there was a talk of Shivraj Singh Chauhan, now it's, Vasundhara Raje. These are all kadvi dawai. You see, the RSS can administer this, bitter medicine to Mr. Modi to accept it, and it is not going to solve any of the problem. So, as far as the BJP is concerned, it is Narendra Modi's story. All, eggs in one basket. Mr. Modi succeeds, whether it's in Haryana or in Maharashtra or even in Jharkhand somewhere. You see, they stand. In the other side, you see, it is not Rahul Gandhi's story. No matter what Congress or Congress sympathizers would want to believe, it is also Akhilesh's story. It is also Tejaswi's story. It is also Arvind Kejriwal's story. It is Mamata Banerjee's story. They all, would be, I mean, if they are successful in their respective states, then of course the, sort of Congress, emerges. So therefore, the Congress has a ring of, promise and hope, simply because, all eggs are not in one basket, and Rahul Gandhi, no matter what, a section of media may project him, he is still not a prime ministerial candidate in that sense. So there are a lot of, this thing area he needs to ground. I think the only way Congress and Rahul can become a prime ministerial candidate, if a Congress, starts getting something like, 200 Lok Sabha seats. Now, the fact is, if you're all going to contest with 330 seats, you're never going to get 200 seats. So it's a simple thing. Things are not easy. So first, the BJP has to, collapse, and some kind of early, signs are setting in. It is for Mr. Modi to prove us wrong.
It is a process of churn, and I think that's what we are capturing now with the assembly elections. The churn has begun. Where it leads to, and where the politics of the country goes, is something we're going to keep a close eye on. But the politics of Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi are always very interesting. So thank you so much for joining me on this conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.